Now, there's this misconception that the first president of the Senate in Nigeria was Dr. Nwafo Orizu. If you thought so, you were wrong. I'm going to try as much as I can to just give you the names of the presidents of the Senate from the very, very beginning. All right, let's try to clear up these misconceptions. The first Senate president in Nigeria is Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. All right, I know you all know him as the first Governor General in Nigeria from 1960, but he was actually the Senate president from 1959 to 1960. The second was the very flamboyant Chief Dennis Osadebe. He was so flamboyant that when he wore his wrapper, in fact, the tail would be about 10 poles away or more. He was the president of the Senate from 1963 to 1966. And of course, that was when that first coup actually happened that saw the emergence of our very first head of state, Aguiyi Ironsi. Then after that, the next Senate president was Joseph Wayas. He was Senate president during the time of President Shehu Shagari. He was there from 1979 to 1983. He was followed by a man known as Ame Ibute. He was just Senate president for a couple of months. In fact, he was Senate president from August to November of 1993. Then after that, we delved straight into 1999 when we made a return to democracy. Fourth Republic, yes. And there's this controversial feeling when you mention his name. Is he Evans or Evan? But the bottom line, the Senate president in 1999, his name was Evan Ewerem. He was Senate president from June to November of 1999. Now, there was so much turbulence at the time because we saw about 2 or 3 Senate presidents just in 4 years. Right? It was quickly followed by another man, very controversial, Dr. Chuba Okadigbo, the Oyi of Oyi. He was Senate president from November of 1999 down to August of 2000. And it was quickly followed by another man who hails from Ebonyi State. His name, Ayim Pius Ayim. He was the first man who actually stayed for a long time, really. You know, when you compare it with what had happened in the past few years, he was president of the Senate from August of 2000 to July of 2003. And we fast forward a bit more and we go straight to the next. His name, Adolphus Wagbara. Adolphus Wagbara was the Senate president in Nigeria from July of 2003 to April of 2005. And after him, Ken Nnamani. And you would notice that these men are from the Southeast, all right? Ken Nnamani was Senate president from April of 2005 down to June of 2007. And for the first time, somebody became the Senate president for 8 straight years. The man from Benue State. His name, David Mark. He was Senate president from 2007 to 2015. And after him, in 2015, he wasn't supposed to be Senate president, but after the internal workings of the APC in Nigeria, that is the All Progressives Congress, he eventually emerged as the Senate president. He wasn't the favored one, but something happened. Almost all the lawmakers had to go to the International Conference Center for a meeting with the president-elect then, talking about President Muhammadu Buhari. And with some of the internal schemings, he became the president of the Senate. 2-time governor of Kwara State. His name, Bukola Saraki. He was the president of the Senate from 2015 to 2019. And the man he wrestled power, he wrestled with in 2015, who was supposed to be the Senate president, Ahmed Lawan, eventually succeeded Saraki. 2019 to 2023, Ahmed Lawan is the Senate president. I'm waiting for the 10th Senate. Who becomes the president of the Senate in the 10th Senate? I just called you. Thank you.